Hello everyone. Welcome back. Get my stuff set up here. Just one moment. All right. Smock all situated here. Just joining me, welcome. My name's Jason and we're going to be doing a little painting today. So, where are we at? I'll get rid of this. This is covering up my liquid in there so it doesn't evaporate. Oh, interesting. Okay. So I was testing something. I know I've got the audio going. Oh, that's the graphic. That's why. Okay. No, I'm good. All right. I'm still testing something, but that's besides the point. All right. So what are we painting? We're painting. Here's the painting I'm working on. I zoomed in just a little bit because I'm going to be focusing on this top area here. So we're painting some shiny material and some glass. The background, this gray background is done, and I still have to add the wood texture, but there's a wood layer there that we'll get to later on. But for now, this is, hold on one second. So this is the actual picture that I'm looking at, not the picture, the live setup. And let me put that in the corner so you can see it while we're painting. So another thing, let's get our paints set. So here's my palette from last week. Let's see, I cover it up as much as I can to try and save the paint. And so I put a little cellophane or plastic wrap on it. It's getting a little sticky. See how hard it's sticking on there? So I bet that's a good portion of this is dried up. I'm gonna have to getting pretty sticky after sitting here for a couple of days. So the last time I touched this was Friday. There we go, almost good. All right, I can save it. Awesome. Let's put this over here out of the way, and I'll use that again. All right, so here's my palette. We've got our linseed oil and turpentine. Some people don't like to use turpentine because it's smelly, but that's okay. I use turpentine because it evaporates quickly, so it speeds up drying time when you're doing a wash. And I don't want to slow down drying time anymore. There's others that don't smell so much, but I'll be primarily using linseed oil. So brushes. I don't think I'm going to be using, well, maybe I will. I'll use my good brush, my Series 7 later, maybe. There's a couple brushes that I really liked. Not that one. There's my flat. So I like this little flat. This is a 3mm flat. And I might even use, this is a very wide flat. I don't know if I like that one for this. What shall I use today? I'll keep this one out. I don't know if I'll use it or not. And I might use this one. Oh, that's a 7. I've already got a 6 in this one. So how about this one? What's this? That's a 5. I'll bring out the 5. Let's try those. Let's see how that works. So put that back. We're pretty much staying with the same colors. I want to fix this up a little bit. At the top here, I've got a little more color to add in there. I don't want to get too carried away with it, so I might continue to work down. This top section is going to take me the longest because there's just as much detail in here as there is in this bigger section here, as there is in this extremely big section here. So it's like all the details compressed into that. But that's fine. We'll figure this out as we go. So let's get our malt stick. I like to use that. And let's just do, well, I'm gonna leave it. I'm looking at the paint and I think some of it's drying up here, but I still think some of it's wet as well. So I'm gonna be careful not to touch it yet. Let's clean off my brush. Use this 3mm for starters. And before I start, let's just evaluate where I'm going to go. Now, I feel like this here is too dark. I feel like that's too dark. I like this over here better. And I think there's a little edge of something that will help me out if I do that. I'm going to give it a little edge. I'm going to keep that one where it is. And I'm going to go for this number 5 round here. I'll clean that one off. And I'll get a little bit of oil on it. And I'm going to go into this gray here that I mixed last week. Got that gray there. What's the difference in those two? I don't know. I'm gonna go with this one. And I just want to put a little edge. Get that a little more thin. There we go. Hopefully you can see okay. Well, that might be too much like the background color. I don't want that. I'm looking again. That's a little too close to this background color here. kind of what I see though. All right. Maybe I'll put a little. I think this is probably all dried over here. This stuff is all dried up, so I'll add a little. See if I can get some black into that. Yeah, I'll do that. All right. So, welcome and hello if you're just joining. Nice to see you. Got a little hair sticking out here. Sometimes brushes do that. I see it when I see it when I go to paint. And then when I back away, I don't see it anymore. There's a little hair on the tip of my brush. It's hitting before all the bristles. I don't want to paint with one. I can't even see that. I don't want to paint with one bristle. I got one long bristle compared to all the others. All right, I'm starting to get it. There we go. All right, it's out of the way. Okay, there we go. I got it off. All right, let's try that again. It was hitting the canvas before all the other bristles, so it was kind of pushing me away a little bit. Yeah, I like that better. I like that better. It was a little too dark on that side. There's a little bit of something in there that I can see. Hello. You're painting something. Oh, that's right. That's okay. You don't have to worry about. Never worry about being late. You get here when you get here. It's not. I'm not taking attendance. Okay. This is not attendance. All right. Let's evaluate again. So. I'm happy with that so far. I haven't done this lighter section and I need to get into this here, and actually what's on my brush might be just what I need. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to continue to use that same dark gray. And another color on top of that. It's actually my reflection. I'll get that in there later. I'm not going to worry about that right this second. Seeing some little details since I'm working on this. Seeing some little details that I might have otherwise put off till later, but since I'm working in that color, I'm just going to kind of look around, see if there's anything additional I can do. Since some of this is probably dried over the weekend. Pretty good. Now I'm going to look at that color. So again, making that little fist to isolate colors is very helpful for me. What I'm looking at is really small, so it's hard to isolate. I'm going to take some of this and put it over here and add a little bit of this to it. Okay, I mixed this last week, I know. I couldn't tell you what colors they are. This is titanium white that I'm pulling right now. I don't know what color that is. I think it's white. I think it's yellow or ochre and cadmium red. I think those are the colors that I used. Can't be expected to remember everything, right? I actually have a very poor memory sometimes. All right, let's try that. This is just a little lighter color. Actually, yeah, I'll use this for now. So, I see some other stuff going on up here. Yeah, that's not bad. That's a good color. See a hint of it maybe up here. There's a little bit. Actually, I'm going to wait on that one. I'll be blending this out a little bit. Right now it's kind of like very edgy flat colors. And oh, I like that, where that is. Let's see. Anywhere else? I think maybe up here. Good in there too. So I hope you had a nice weekend. My weekend was pretty good. I'm trying to remember if I had anything to speak of to talk about from the weekend. I'm going to add a little bit of this over here on the right. It's cold here right now. It's if you are a Celsius user, it is below 0. It's very cold today. It's about 24 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know. I don't know the conversion. I don't think anybody knows the conversion. It's a weird number that nobody knows. All right, I'm going to do this right across the top here. So yeah, let's see. Let's try to remember my weekend here. My weekend. I actually want. Oh yeah, I want that here too. Saturday. Let me think about Saturday for a second. Clearly, my memory stinks. I can't remember 2 days ago. Yesterday was not too much. Yesterday was sitting around the house cooking dinner. Stuff like that. Going to the grocery store. I'm going to put just a little bit of this in here. Again, I'll blend that out after. I just need a little bit more. That's good. And maybe a touch down here too. All right. Wait, Saturday? What did I do Saturday? I have no idea. Oh, I know, I can't say. I can't say. I had to, it was a Christmas shopping thing that I had to do. Can't say, just in case someone watches. That would be bad. That would be a disaster. All right, so I'm gonna paint, there's kind of a, I'm not gonna paint the highlight, but there's close to the highlight is some, so right in this lighter section here. And then there's this thin line here that I want to get in as well. And then we're going to smooth it out and move on. So looking at that area, it's really, get a little oil on there first, wipe that off. It's really kind of grayish, like a light grayish. Let me pull this over here, see if I like that. It might have a little blue in it. Yeah, I'm gonna add a little bit of cerulean blue. Hopefully this isn't dried. Good, there's still some in there. A little cerulean blue. It's almost like a baby blue color. Subtle change, but enough to do what I needed to do. All right, I'm gonna add some oil to it. And let's paint it. All right. So really what I'm doing here is kind of just replacing this color because it's really not the right color. It's a subtle difference, but I will see it. Then there's an interesting thing that's going on here. Is that there's, you because this is like a stainless steel kind of metal, there's like these, I don't know what I'd call them, like these little lines that go back and forth and up and down. I don't know if I'm gonna get that in there right now. Okay, let me, let's see. I'm just gonna make a darker version of that right here. It's almost that, isn't it? Oil. Yeah, that's good. All right, I'm thinking, I'm looking, thinking it is. We're gonna try that. I'm gonna try that. I wasn't sure about that color that I just mixed. Sorry. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I'll go with it. Don't get paralyzed. Keep moving forward. Sometimes you gotta say it's close enough. This is a little more than I kind of planned on doing, but I've got some. What's going on over there? I've got to cover that up a little bit. Let me do that real quick. And I'm just going to get a little bit of a lighter color. And bring that into there. Back to that darker color. I'm back and forth right now. Darker than that. All right, one more thing is that, and I think some of this is a little bit off. That's there. Clean that off. And now, in the, oops, sorry I didn't change my Didn't change my screen. I'll do that in a second. So now right in there's a line here, here, and here. It's kind of like this green color that's around the edge of the box. Since the box is actually green, you're seeing this tiny little reflection on there. So I'm going to mix that. So I'm actually going to take some permanent green light and I'll move that over here. I'm going to take some of this. I mixed this yesterday or last week, I should say, and this is like a cadmium red and yellow ochre. I'm going to add a little more yellow ochre to that. Hopefully there's some wet yellow ochre at the bottom there. Just move some to the side and you should find some usable paint underneath. Listen, the best thing about oil paints is that they might dry on the surface, but you just push it over a little bit and you find wet paint under there. Might be a little too much. Let's see how that pans out. I know it's kind of yellowish. Yeah, a little white. It's not far off, actually. Right there. I kind of like that color right there. That's good. Mixing colors can be very difficult. I think green is one of the more difficult colors to mix, to be honest with you. See, this is where I've got to be careful since that one's there. And move this one over a little bit. Add it there. Since I've got this color, I'm going to add it in all the places I see it. Let's put it in there. It's a little brighter down there, though I'm going to add some more white. Some more white to it. It's hard to see, but it's there. Once I put the other colors around it, you'll be able to see it better. I see it over here too. May as well see it. Excuse me. May as well put it in there. This is one of those things, right? You work the whole painting at once. Even though I'm kind of working my way down, if I see a color, go ahead and use it. Since this is such a unique spot here. Yeah, I like that. All right, now we can clean that off. I've got a spot to fix now, of course. Since I moved this line over a little bit to the right, I've got that white line that I need to fix now. So again, welcome if you're just joining. I see somebody else is on the line. Wonderful to have you. Feel free to chat. I try to keep my eye on messages as I go. But not everybody likes doing that. I understand. It's okay. You do what makes you comfortable. And hopefully if you like my channel, if you like my painting, you'll subscribe if you haven't already. Not that I'm looking for subscribers, but in order to, oh, I think they just left. In order to maintain my channel, I need a minimum of 50 subscribers. So I've got plenty. But of course it makes you feel better when you've got more than plenty, right? Alright, I think I'm happy with that. Let me smooth some of this out so I don't forget. Clean off my brush real quick. And normally, what I would do is I've got this really, it's kind of a fat, very soft brush here that I like to smooth stuff out with, but it's too big for that section, so I'm not going to use that for this. I'm going to pick a smaller brush. Which one should I use? This one's kind of nice. I think I'll use this one. There's no paint on there. Yeah, we'll try this one. This is an angled 3mm. I don't really use this one for anything. Yeah, I'll try this one. Let's see how that goes. So, I just want to smooth some stuff out. Stay within the same color scheme. Before I go to different areas, so I'll work in the dark first and then I'll move over to the light areas. Be careful not to touch that green line. I probably should have put that green line on there afterwards, but it made me happy to put it on now, so that's why I did it. There's a little line right there that I think I need to change. That should not be there. A little bit just to get some of that dark paint off. I'm not going to clean it because cleaning it will make it all kinds of wet, and I don't want wet. here pretty much. So we'll do another level of detail on this eventually. Let me get a bit of white that I don't like there. A little piece that actually should be really dark. Yeah. Darker, I think. All right, let me a little bit more, clean that off real quick. Just a little bit more blending, and then I'll move on. What is that? It weirds me out when I see something that wasn't there before. It shouldn't be there at all. I'm not even going to put any paint on this. I'm just going to blend this out a little bit. Hopefully it will be fine. Yeah, that's fine for now. I'm leaving that white dot there because that's all in highlight anyways. I'll leave it like that for now. That looks pretty good to me. Let's keep going. We're gonna move down the canister now. So I think I'll move a little faster because now I'm going to be painting larger spaces. So hopefully that will be the case. Which paintbrush should I use? I wish I had a paintbrush. I've got a 3mm here, and I've got a 10mm. I wish I had like a 5 or a 6mm. I don't think I do. Just means I have to order one, I guess. All right, I'll go with the smaller one, I guess, the 3mm. And maybe I'll go back and forth. We'll see. We'll see. Nothing's really changing. We're doing the same thing over and over again. At this point, I'll look at the darks first. I don't know why the darks first. I just think I like to paint the darks first. I think I'm just used to painting shadows first. I don't know if anybody prefers something different, but that's usually where I go to. Shadows first. So this, I'll start with this stuff here. Pull some of that down and add a little ivory black to it. A little more ivory black. Oil in there, and let's get to painting. So I've got this. Let's see. Let's see if that's dark enough. I think it is. Yeah. There's a spot here that's the darkest. And this paintbrush, I wouldn't want it any bigger. This is a good size. I'm glad I don't have a larger brush right now. And then this is over here. I might make some alterations to my underpainting as I go. That's fine. And I'm actually going to have a second brush here. I'm going to put this one off to my side. I'm going to grab my number 5 that I was using earlier because I've got this section right in there that I've got to do as well, which is all the same colors, but I just haven't put them in there. Haven't put them in there yet. All right. So. This is where I need to be careful because I've got a little bit of that green color that I put in there earlier. I don't want to cover that up if I can help it. All right, that looks good. Now, I'm not even gonna clean off my brush. I'm just going to look at the color here real quick. Yeah, and I'm gonna go with this color over here. Let's get some oil on that. Should be using my other brush. Switch, and You know what I'm really scared about? That glass. I am terrified to be painting that glass. But that's okay. That's, you know, I'm trying to think if I've ever painted glass before. I don't think I have. I don't think I've ever painted glass ever, which is funny. I think I told you my wife teased me when I was painting the apples. And I said, I don't think I ever painted an apple before. And she was like, what? You call yourself an artist? I said, listen, I just don't think I ever did it. She's like, but every artist does that. She's not an artist, so what does she know? I better be careful. I don't think she watches these, but I don't want to make her mad. That's besides the point, right? There's some interesting marks on this that I'm seeing right now. I'll have to decide if I'm going to go to that level of detail at some point, or if I'm kind of okay where I'm at. Alright, let's look at that color again. So right here on the edge here, it's darn near the same color as the background. I think it's actually just a little bit lighter. I'm gonna, if I can talk, I'm not gonna clean my brush off. I'm gonna go right into this color here that I had mixed earlier. I might add a little more white to it. Hopefully that's enough of a difference. Yeah, that'll be fine. Very carefully make that. Make that curve there. Blend that together after. I almost think the same thing happens on this side too. I'm thinking it's slightly darker. So I'm just going to mix this down here a little bit. I might just use this one. Yeah, I'm just going to use that. I'm going to use this one here. Since that side, the background is a little darker anyways, it shouldn't make much difference. So this. Hopefully will be dark enough. My other brush here, I'm gonna clean that one off. Getting excited. I'm almost to my vacation, which will start next Wednesday. And I'm planning on, hopefully I won't get lazy, I'm planning on spending a lot of time painting. So I might be online a ton for a few days anyways. I would like to finish this before Christmas. Not that I need to, just kind of want to. Got a little fix I've got to make there, but that's okay. I think I can manage that. So far, let's see, the music should still be playing, right? So far I've had no problems, right? You haven't seen anything flicker or the music turn off, or I don't know. The music doesn't seem to be on though, so let me check my, hold on, you're gonna hear something. Yeah, it looks like I've got my audio working. I'll keep using music. If you guys like it, I'll keep using music. Nice, thanks. That was one of the things I wanted to test today, because I got another email from the people who make these cameras. By the way, they're Nearstream cameras. And I bought them specifically for streaming, and I had a problem with them. They were cutting out, they were having all kinds of problems, and it seemed to be only when I was using the music feature. But I like the music in the background. I mean, I don't have like a huge selection of music that I can use, because you got to follow like the copyright laws. You can't just stream any kind of music. You got to stream, free music. So the Nearstream app comes with music, which is awesome. I can't hear it because I keep the audio down, so I could put on headphones and I'd hear it that way. But it's more for people who want to join but don't want to hear me just talking the whole time. As a little background, something makes it a little more interesting, I think. So if you don't like to hear me, or don't like to hear the music, just turn off the sound. Yes is the answer. I don't want to muddy up these colors too much. Move this over here. Get a little bit of darker. See, something that can happen over time is you've mixed around your palette so much that you don't have anywhere to go. Like you run out of all the colors. You run out of space to make colors, and you've made kind of all the colors that you can. Do this I'm going to do this a little closer up here. Anyways, so the near stream cameras have been awesome, except for it seemed that when I ran music, cameras were kept on cutting off, cutting back on, and so I told them about it. And what they do, they literally send me 3 brand new cameras, no questions asked. They said, try these 3 new cameras, let us know how you make out. I said, sweet, absolutely. So far, I think they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. So far. All right, I think I want to get in there, and then I'm going to blend it out. All right. Always dip back into linseed because we're painting with oil, not turpentine. I need some more white here. That's going to go right down in here. Yeah, that looks good. A little more linseed. And let's paint that in there. So this looks pretty blocky right now. I know it's supposed to look pretty blocky right now because I'm not ready to blend it all in yet. I'm just getting the general colors where I want them. Blend them. Darker stuff right in the middle here. All right, get something going on up there now. I feel like I've got to fix something there. Let's see. Let me clean this. All right, so linseed oil on there. Always paint with the linseed oil. Gray. I feel like it's gotta be lighter. I'm seeing a little. I wouldn't call it a mistake, I'd just call it an adjustment. A little adjustment. Adjustments happen. That's better. I'll make an adjustment on the other side too. That needs to be a little darker though. Little adjustment. That's better. I like better. Just blend this a little bit so it's not so noticeable. That's better. All right, where are we at here? I think we're gonna blend, right? That's what we're doing. Let me clean these brushes off. Time to clean the brushes off. Oh, okay. Hey, you have a great day. Bye. Glad to see you. I won't be here tomorrow, so you know. I'll be here on Wednesday. I should be here on Wednesday. Have a great day, though. Bye. Yeah, I've got a meeting tomorrow. I actually have to go somewhere, which is unusual for me. Usually I work from home. All right, so those are clean. I'm going to get my blending brush now. So my blending brush is kind of a this. Oh no, I think I can go bigger. I'm going to go with my bigger blending brush. So I've got this nice, soft, big, kind of poofy blending brush, and I keep it dry unless I'm blending. That's kind of how blending brushes roll. So I'm just gonna kind of tap around. I'll bring in that small one a little bit too, probably, but get that in there now. Tap, tap. Sometimes I'll like these little swirly blends, tap, tap, swirly blend, tap, tap. Let's see, over here. Be careful not to blend too much, because you might end up blending out detail that you wanted to keep. And I love to blend, though. Blending is my favorite part of painting for some reason. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I just like to blend. I think I gotta go with a smaller blending brush here a little bit, because I want to make some bigger. Hold that in there just a little bit more. Similar thing. Plug this up into that. What time is it anyways? You know what? I gotta go too. Let me finish this up and then I gotta get going. Lost track of time, that's okay. But I gotta go. So I'm going to leave it there for now. I'll come back to this on Wednesday. I might touch this up a little bit later this afternoon, but I'll do that kind of offline. If you are here for your first time, I really appreciate you joining me. If you, for my friend who has been joining me every day since the very beginning of me doing this, thank you again. And I hope that you have a wonderful day and happy painting. Bye.